Sanbonani guys, welcome back to yet another video, and we are speaking about the latest episode of Queendom. So guys, this episode opens up with this Indian man who comes to see Umcebo inside his office. This man, according to the way Umcebo is calling him, his name is Sheikh, you guys. Basically, Maharaj. What was that ETV show, Konja, that was called the way his name was Maharaj, but I'm sure you can see his face on the screen, you guys. So anyway, Sheikh is visiting Umcebo's office, and basically Sheikh is telling Umcebo, "Wuti aye phela puti, we are running behind on the fracking business." I was like, what fracking business? But guys, I remember the time Andine passed away. And then there was like some accountants that called Umcebo that said there was trucks, 2 loads or 2 tons of trucks that were ordered for worth something millions, guys. And we were kind of confused. Umcebo, what is he busy with? What shady? And I remember that lady mentioned something with fracking business. So it looks like Umcebo was even using his family business's money imali yase to do whatever business is doing. I'm not sure, guys, what business it is exactly. Anyway, the guy Ushe goes on to say, which you promised by now we'd be producing gas and making money. I was like, yeah, like making money is still very much a part of the plan. We just had some unforeseen delays. Ushe goes on to say, unforeseen delays, you know very well that the stakes are higher. Money should be flowing in by now, not excuses. You keeping me out of the loop, or he says you keeping me out of the loop isn't helping. Like, why would you do that? So angazi ukuthi Umcebo, guys, what business he's got himself into. But listen, all I'm gonna say is that this guy Sheikh, he looks like the guy you do not want to mess with. He looks like the guy that, listen, hey. So yeah, I feel like this is maybe one of the guys besides Abapanti Bakonam. This is the one of the guys that can possibly be able to deal with Umcebo by a snap of or by the snap of his fingers. So he's like, why would you do that? Or should I move my business elsewhere? I was like, no, 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 please. The circumstances surrounding my father's passing have been quite chaotic, but I have to prioritize, but I had to prioritize that the passing of my father. He goes on to say, I'm sure you understand. And then Ushe goes on to say, Wuti, your priorities seem to have conveniently shifted. Are you getting cold feet? Should I move my investments to somebody who knows what they're doing? We paid you a lot of money. I'm sure you don't need me to remind you who we are dealing with. I was like, my ascension to the throne is imminent. I will have the final say to all matters as soon as my father is buried. Kanti kanti wena uhamba uwenzana namabhizinisi and you're busy swearing to people ukuthi wena you're going to be king and certain things. Ngathi hayi, but that's why he's so much in a hurry to basically eliminate everyone out of his way, because he's got his own ambitions. Ngalana, he's promising people ukuthi he's next on the throne, so kusho when he's next on the throne izinto sezizohamba kahle manje. Ushe goes on to say, your confidence is admirable, but I feel like it's misplaced. I am told that there's another contender to the throne, some Ntando something, was it? I was like, hey, Sheikh, Wushuguti, he's got his ears on the ground. Was Ganjanuguti, there's Ndando something. And I'm even surprised to hear that, because I don't know that there's people who actually saw things the way we do, that Untando is actually a contender to the throne, because Umcebo does not see that. Umcebo goes on to say, Wuchi, do not have to worry about that. She's merely a distraction. And Sheikh says, distractions can prove costly. Remember, failure to honor your word can have serious consequences. My associates are not forgiving people, whether you are king or not. But you can see Umcebo knows he's dealing with big dogs here, guys, because he does look quite alarmed at this conversation, considering that Sheikh came all the way from but came all the way to Okahlamba to basically speak to Umcebo. This is serious business, you guys. Anyway, we see Utabang and Dando. They are it looks like either they're in the kitchen or they're in Dando's room, something like that. And Utabang is saying to Dando. So, guys, backstory: Utabang actually decided to go Ekashamba to go and support Undando. Remember, Pella, the last time when Andile passed away, Utabang did not go to Ekashamba. And when he came back to Undando saying that she wants to stop the Lobola negotiation. So he learned a lesson. Now that Ubanzi is passed away, Tabang decided to travel all the way to Ekashamba to go and support Undando. But I feel like this time it's different because it's not her father. But anyway, he's there. So Tabang is saying to Ntando, but I'm your fiance. Untando's like, yes, if I had it my way, but like isigo doesn't allow it. Utabang ufuna ukulala ekamereni likaNtando, you guys. And Untando's trying to tell ukuthi like akukhonakali. And Utabang is just not understanding because uthi yena is the fiance. If fiance la qalisi namalobola that type. Hey. Tabang's like amasiko azange ngithi as like asiphume emasiko or asiphule amasiko baby. And Untando's like uthini ke? Tabang's like I just want to be there for you. Untando's like lokho ngiyakuzwa but we can't like you can't be here for me in that way Lana, we're not married. So Tabang, when you want to be there for Untando empetheni, that's the only way you can be there for her. Ay wena kahlenbo. So Utabang's like, I know, but so as he's talking, then there's a knock on the door and Utintiwe comes in and she's like, Osazana ngizwile ukuthi uyangibiza. Then Untando's like, oh, Tintiwe ngiyabonga. Umnganami la Utabang, and Tabang looks at Utintiwe and he's like, fiance. Fiance, get that straight. So Untando's like, umnganami la Utabang, ubedinga indawo yokulala. And Utinti was like, ngingathanda impela ukusiza nkosazana kodwa like amagumbi wonke asekugcwele. I understand, guys, there's a funeral coming up. There's Varashi that came because the fact, I know there's supposed to be a private ceremony for the king, but there must be some public ceremony for the king as well, for the people to celebrate his life or something like that. Then Untando's like ngempela, and Utinti was like yebo, like abantu nje came flooding in manje, like we don't have any rooms left. Hlampi like singazama ama-B&B around here siwafonele kodwa nakhona nkosazana angithembi indawo isekhona ngoba abantu nabo bafikile and I'm sure futhi sebebhukile nje baningi. So Untando goes on to say engempela bagcwele uqinisile. Thintiwe goes on to say hlambi nkosazana ungazama imanager. I'm sure there's a manager that can make a plan for you from one of these B&Bs. Untando goes on to say ukuthi Thintiwe emaqinisweni sisi wami, I was hoping that it would not get there. Obviously, it would not get there because this is her boyfriend, guys. So she doesn't want her news to be out like that. So anyway, she's like, Thintiwe sisam, are you sure there's nothing you can do? Ngiyacela. And Thintiwe ends up saying, ngizobona ukuthi ngizowenza njani. I'll ask around, ngizobuza izisebenzi, and basically see basically bangangisiza ngani. Then Utintiwe leaves and Utabang is kind of annoyed because things are not coming together and he's like, I bengspita nami bengiyaphi like now, like mina ngifuna like I just want to sleep in the same room as you manje, I'm here and I don't have a place to sleep. And Untando's like, nese baby, like I'm sorry, like we'll figure out a plan and what. And guys, Utintiwe, she spoke to Unyambose. So Wushu Tabang is going to sleep no Unyambose. So we see Untando and Utabang coming into the kitchen. And Utintiwe is there and Unyambose is there. And then Utintiwe does the introduction. She says, Nyambose, Utabang, Tabang no bengikutshela ngayo. Isivarashi sika nkosazana Untando kayise, and he's gonna be the one sleeping with you. Then Untando kayise abonge, then she leaves, Utintiwe leaves, and then it's just Utabang Nunyambose. Aibo guys, Utabang just throws his bag on the counter, and then he's like, he just goes and sit down. I'm just like, Aibo. And then Utabang says, it's not heavy. He's saying to Nyambose, ukuthi bag yakhe is not heavy. Then Nyambose just looks at him and is like, yeah, Zidni, ikumbulako, like the room has already been set. We can go. You can follow me. So as they're about to leave, Utabang's like, what about my bag? And I'm like, "Guy, what's about?" And then he just looks, Nyambosi just looks at him and says, Lalela, la, we at the palace. And Lana, the palace has rules. So behave, ungakhulumi nje kanjani. I'm like, Tabang, guys, sometimes Tabang doesn't have manners. Yeah, nah, like, anyway, let's leave that. And then next scene, we see Usanusi coming into a room. This room is basically where where Ubanzi's body is sitting at, I guess, because they don't believe in mortuaries, or the king's body can't go to a mortuary. So this room is specifically dedicated to Ubanzi's body. So Usanusi comes in, Akhelengamanzi, you guys, and then Utaluqolo comes in with him. Ebo comes in, following in, but Ebo's like closing his nose, because I can imagine the smell there, guys. Where there's no fridge there, istumbus nje in a, like, they on a mini bed or something like that. So then Talukalo goes on to say, Tubintab. Usanisu says Ntwana. Dalukolo says, bonakala ngathi like ukhathazekile, because uDalukolo noticed that as Usanusi was tailoring ngamanzi, like he had a weird type of facial expression, and that's why uDalukolo is like asking, like, are you okay? Like, you look like something's bothering you. Manja, when uDalukolo is asking that, Ebo is looking at uDalukolo, like looking at him like in a way, like, because Ebo doesn't know if Tubintaba is going to be able to send something or whatnot. Not tasazi, but sometimes guys, Tubintaba, the way is so slow. But anyway, so I was looking at Utalukola like, yay. And then Utalukola goes on to say to Sani Skonka Guhamba Vashe. Or like, is there something wrong? Sani goes on to say, which is Kumba Senko Simtuan. And then Utarukolo says, this kumba senkosi, like senzen. Sanusi says, which is so mile. I was just standing there listening quietly, observing everything as Utarukolo and Usanisto basically looking at the king's body. Then Utarukolo asks Usanusi to elaborate on what he's saying. Usanusi goes on to say, Wuti, there should be something of Bonisai, Wuti, he was alive just a moment ago in this body, and he is of life-giving water, or me, as the desert winds. So I'm guessing Usanusi is saying something like, Ubandi's body is too dry for a person or standard Shona, basically, and that because he is of Amanzi, then there should be a sign in his body that he's of the life-giving waters, something like that. Dalukalo goes on to say, see, Meles Katazeg, like, should we be worried by this? Sanusi goes on to say, Amanzi. Lokho kukhomba ukuthi ukhona okushaya amanzi. So basically Sanusi saying ukuthi phela this person is a king, is the child of the waters, so that means there's something not right for his skin to be this dry. Umcebo goes on to say ukuthi ngaphandle kwemithi esimnikeze yona singakhohlwa ukuthi we only gave him soft foods, trying to say that maybe it's malnutrition, that besingamfunzi ukudla okune-nutrition, so maybe the soft foods is the one that's making his body look this dry. Utalukalo goes on to say perhaps his spirits long for the touch of pure waters from for the earth to embrace him again. So maybe Utalukalo is trying to say Mutubanzi Utalengawapuzi amanzi from Emfuleni or something like that, and that's all his body needs to touch that water amandangwele, then he'll be fine. I then Ebo says engivumelana nawe mlondolozi. Dalukolo goes on to say ukuthi asithembe ukuthi Shasimbega izulu lizomphelezela. So izulu, they interpreted it as a rain, that the rain will accompany him. So Sanusi goes on to say, may your words ring true, Mtwana. Like, let's hope with your words really stick, and that is really true, that the rain will really be there to really accompany him as a sign that everything is fine. Le etakane, guys. Vincent is sitting in his house, namaphoyisa, guys. and basically saying that his wife is missing. Namanje, guys, I thought Tolagele might be at Ekasamba, but she's not there, guys, and I'm wondering, where is she? Is she okay? But Vincent is telling the police, I need you guys to help me find my wife. And the police are saying, listen, we understand your frustrations, but you have to wait for 48 hours before your case basically meets requirement urgency. I don't know this 48 hours, guys, but I guess abantu abathanda ukulala amalunde, abantu that just like going without reporting, they the people who ruined things in a sense, because 48 hours is a long time, guys, to be able to for your case to be treated with urgency. I then, Vincent is like, this is my wife we're talking about. She doesn't have any other family. I'm her own family. This is unlike her. She wouldn't leave in Jeganjalo. Then the one police says, Pela, we can't waste the state's resources. She could have just ran away. Pela kumbulu uti nina indaba zenu zile TV nukuthi she has once ran away 30 years ago. She ran away. So this behavior that we see now, it's not foreign. Maybe she ran away again. And Vincent is so annoyed. He's like, have you ever asked yourself why she ran away from Ekatamba? Those royal people wanted to kill her when she was pregnant. And it's abang ukuthi yibona that are doing all of this. And then they say, okay, fine, if you're saying that, go to the police station and basically open up a missing person case. That's what they telling Vincent to do. Vincent, I'm just like, yo, guys, like, I don't know. I just really hope Uketiwe, wherever she's at, that she's fine. Next scene, we see Usanusi. He's outside and he's looking up into the sky. And this is when Utaluka joins him and says to him, Utisanus omkulu. Everything is ready and prepped for the king's final departure. And Usanusi just looks at him. So Utaluka can see what he's speaking to Usanusi, but Usanusi like ngathake kholana. So Utaluka says uthi kukhona okungahambi kahle. Usanusi says ukuthi izulu seems unusual. The skies look unusually quiet today. Not a single cloud in sight. Utaluka like, ow, like ungakhathazeki Sanusi, like ayikho indlela that it won't rain to accompany the king to his final resting place. Like akhonakali, because this person belongs to the waters. Sanusi goes on to say, I hope so, because the absence of rain when a king has passed on is not a good thing. It is a bad sign. Dalukolo goes on to say ukuthi ukhumbule Sanusi ukuthi imimoya isebenza ngenye indlela engaqondakali. So Shampi, this is just the calm before the storm. Usanusi responds and says, ungawusho lokho mntwana, kodwa mina into engiyibonayo is just empty skies. Like, you can say whatever you're saying, but the signs that I'm seeing in the skies, it's empty. Like, there's no sign ukuthi imvula iyeza. Utalukalo goes on to say, Sanusi, like tembela emandleni owamanzi, he? Trust in all, or trust in the Kashamba ancestors for the power for their power flows through us all. Then Usanusi goes on to say, kushukuthi uzomela silinde to see what happens from here. Utalukalo is like, haibo, kukhona Hlampi like ohubonile, or like that you don't want to ongafuna ukukhuluma ngakho. And then Usanusi says, cha, I'm just interpreting what I'm seeing in the skies. I'm like, but Usanusi guys, can't he take out, can't he consult or do something to see like what's going on? Because yeah, Usanusi ngathi hlezi nje eza ngemingcwabo, guys, or he's coming in. Like, can he just predict before everything happens, before but does his stuff that something bad is gonna happen? Because what's the use? Or maybe, gang, some of them, what they say, like bayabonisa, so they have to wait for the message. It's not that they can see for themselves. That's what some of them say, guys. I don't know how true is that. We see Tabang is sitting in he's by the quarters Sebenzi. It looks like where is Sebenzi? Balala corner. There's like a mini kitchen out, not a mini kitchen, like a mini chilling place outside. So Tabang is sitting there, guys, with his feet on the table. Kabanga. With his feet on the table, busy playing, or I don't know if he's playing a game, but he's pressing his phone. And that's when Uchintiwe comes with juice and snacks, and she's like, "Ay, abangi nukuthi, let me just bring you something to snack on." And then she asks, "Uthi bokunjani ukulala no baba uNyambose?" Then Tabang's like, "Yo, like it was so bad, ngibelahona iy'nyawo ezinukayo ini bengingakhona ukulala ngakhipha ifoni." Then I decided to watch one of those pimple popping videos. At that time, Matinti was laughing. She's like, "Oh my gosh, I also enjoy those pimple popping videos." And Tabang's like, "Unamanga." And she's like, "Yeah, I'm enjoying it. I know people don't get it, but I'm like, the way Utintiwe and Tabang get along, guys, I wish Utibangajola. Like, these people, they vibe, and it looks like they really get one another. So anyway, Utinto is like, I think so she's taking out her phone to show which type of pimple popping videos she enjoys. As she's about to show Tabang rather, that video, walks in. And then you can see Utintiwe, she quickly, puts her phone away, and Utintiwe says Mlondolozi. And I was just looking at Utabang, like he looks at his face, he looks at the feet on the table to say, Uti, who is this? Utabang looks at Utinto, and then he quickly realizes, Uti, this must be royalty. Then he quickly takes his feet off. Then I was like, Funi charger, yeah, I'm like, Uibonile, like, did you see my charger? When about clean la pan, and ever since you cleanse, I can't find my charger. Utinti was like, Kam Londolo was like, Angibonanga kodwa, ngiyathembisa, ngizoyifuna ngize ngiyithole. Then I was like, ubani lo, looking at Utabang. Then Tintiwe goes on to say, oh, Lona, ubhuti Thabang isivakashi senkosazana uNtando kayise. Thabang's like, inhleka uyangena bengikhona kule event bowunayo. I'm like, Thabang always wants to fit himself. It just shushwena Thabang. Then Ebo just ignores him, and then he looks at Tintu and he's like, phuthuma uyithole charge, and then like, hurry up and make sure you find the charger. Then Tintu is like, Mlondolozi. And then she just follows, Ebo leaves, and then Utintiwe follows, and then Tabang's just left there. I'm just like, Tabang, like, anyway. So then we see Ebo, guys, he goes back into that room where Ubandi's body's at. Once he gets in, he closes the door, he takes out his scissors, he cuts hair from Ubandi's head, and then he puts it in a small bottle, the bottle that Ungozi gave him. Then he takes like a paper towel, paper towel. Then he dips that paper towel in manzini. He wipes Ubanji's forehead. And then he puts that paper towel into like a small like plastic or packet or something like that. So he puts those things, the small packet and the bottle, in his pocket. As he just puts it in his pocket, guys, Usanusi opens the door, and Uhamba no Ngumalo, like two of the council members, Ngumalo and another one, Ngamazi, who I forgot his surname. Then when Abo notices that Usanusi just comes in, he acts as if he's talking, and he's like, uyibekile induku ebandleni wena wamanzi. Obviously now trying to make it as if he was there just to send his final regards or to speak to his father. But you can see Usanusi is looking at him with a side eye, like, like looking at him, well, Usanusi is looking at Ebo like to say, why are you acting suspicious? But the thing that's annoying, Usanusi knows Ebo what he's like, so I don't know why he's quiet. Anyway, Usanusi says, so who is Kati for us to prepare the king is with those two men, Mano and the other council members, and then he says we need to bath him and clothe him. Next thing, we see the council members, they are carrying Ubanzi's body, and there's one person that is saying the clan names. Usanusi is leading the crowd. Busebusuku, guys, basehlathini. I guess they're going to bury Ubanzi, and Mutalukono is holding the torch. So while they're doing that, next scene we see ngathi usemgodini where the king must be buried, and he's holding an oil that he's pouring on his hands, and then he pours to the ground, and then he shakes the umhlabathi like to cover it. And then I'm like, is this the ritual that Unokuzana Ungozi told him to do? Because I think she did say that you need to do before he's buried or something like that. So I guess I was finishing that off. I don't know what he is at it or what, but he's there, Kotini. And then and while he's saying that, he's saying clan names, guys. And then Utalutolo says, comes from behind, and then he says, Ukaitil. Sesifigile isikhathi mlondolozi to lay Ubanji to rest. So I guess they thought he was doing one of their traditional things. I don't know, you guys. Maybe we're going to get clarity from the next episode. But Ebo says, hey, khona bubuhlungu. And Utalukalo goes on to say, uzomele uqine mlondolozi, even if it's tough. Guys, Usazo Shuba, from here, if indeed Ebo looks like he successfully got you to his ritual, which it looks like it, Usazo Shuba, guys. Let's park it right here. Tell me your thoughts on this. Please do make sure you like the video. Please do subscribe. It is absolutely for free of charge, and I'll see you guys in the next one.